Have you ever been completely blindsided by someone you trusted the most? Imagine this. You've invested your time, energy, and heart into a relationship, only to find out they've been betraying you behind your back. The pain hits like a freight train. Humiliation, anger, and a sense of being utterly lost. Trust me, I've been there. Let me tell you about my friend Mark. He was in a long-term relationship with someone he believed was his soulmate. They planned trips, dreamed about their future, and even talked about starting a family. Then one day, he discovered she had been seeing someone else for months. His first instinct? To confront her, yell, and demand answers. But what if I told you that the most powerful response in moments like this is silence? This video isn't about revenge or quick fixes. It's about reclaiming your power, restoring your self-worth, and walking away with your dignity intact. Let's explore why staying silent speaks louder than any words ever could. Point 1. Silence is strength, not weakness. When betrayal strikes, silence feels counterintuitive. You want to unleash your anger, demand explanations, or even hurt them back. But here's the secret. Your silence communicates something far more powerful. It says, I'm above this. I don't need your validation. Think about it. When you argue or plead, you're handing over control. You're showing them how deeply they've affected you. But when you stay silent, you're reclaiming your power. Take Mark, for example. Instead of lashing out, he chose to say nothing. His ex tried to provoke him, sending endless texts, asking why he wasn't reacting. His silence drove her crazy because it forced her to sit with her own guilt. And that's the key. Silence holds up a mirror to their actions. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. By staying silent, you're asserting that your peace isn't up for grabs. Point 2. Why they seek a reaction. When someone cheats or betrays you, guilt eats away at them. But guilt has a sneaky way of shifting blame. Your ex isn't looking for your forgiveness. They're looking for a way to feel better about themselves. They want to argue, justify their actions, and turn your pain into a debate. Here's an analogy. Imagine a courtroom. If you don't show up, the case can't proceed. They're left standing there with their guilt unchallenged, and it's unbearable. That's why they'll push you to engage. Don't fall into that trap. Silence denies them the closure they crave. Let them wrestle with their own conscience. Months later, Mark's ex admitted that his silence haunted her more than any argument could. She kept wondering what he thought, imagining every worst-case scenario in her mind. And that's the point. When you stay silent, their imagination becomes your greatest ally. Point 3. Don't give them a lifeline. When you speak, you give them something to grab onto, an argument to refute, a justification to latch onto, or even an excuse to paint themselves as the victim. Don't do them that favor. Silence leaves them stranded. Think about it. Have you ever had a moment where someone misunderstood your silence? Maybe they thought you were judging them more harshly than you actually were. That's human nature. When left to their own devices, people project their worst fears. A cheater will assume you think the absolute worst of them, even if you're just focusing on yourself. A study in behavioral psychology showed that uncertainty creates more anxiety than facing known consequences. By staying silent, you're not just walking away, you're making them face the consequences of their actions in their own mind, and that's far more effective than any argument. Point 4. The cleanest revenge. Revenge is tempting. You want them to feel the pain they caused, but real revenge isn't about making them hurt. It's about showing them they no longer have power over you. Your silence speaks volumes. I'm done. I'm moving on. And you're not even worth my words. Think about athletes who lose a game. The ones who storm off the field, shouting and blaming, look weak. But the ones who shake hands and walk away, they're the ones who command respect. Silence is the ultimate mic drop. It's saying, I don't need to prove anything to you. Mark's story didn't end with silence alone. He focused on himself, hit the gym, picked up new hobbies, and surrounded himself with supportive friends. When his ex saw how he had leveled up, she reached out again, apologizing profusely. but by then her words meant nothing to him. That's real revenge. Thriving. Point 5. Learning from the pain. Staying silent doesn't mean burying your emotions, it means processing them in your own time, on your own terms. Use this experience as a lesson. Ask yourself, were there red flags I ignored? Did I settle for less than I deserved? There's a quote from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war. In relationships, this means understanding yourself before jumping into the next one. Reflecting on what happened ensures you don't repeat the same mistakes. Mark took months to process his pain. He journaled, sought therapy, and even read books like Attached by Amir Levine to understand relationship dynamics. When he started dating again, he was wiser and more confident, and that's the goal, not just to survive betrayal, but to come out stronger. When someone cheats, they take more than your trust. They try to take your sense of self. But here's the truth. They can only take what you allow. By staying silent, you're not just withholding words. You're reclaiming your dignity, your strength, and your future. Next time you face betrayal, remember this. Your silence isn't weakness. It's a statement. It's a reminder to yourself that you don't need their validation. And most importantly, it's a step toward healing and growth. So what will you choose? To argue and stay stuck, or to stay silent and move forward? The power is in your hands. If this message resonated with you, take the first step toward reclaiming your power. Share your thoughts in the comments below.